Good evening, darlings. So, Ultrafangoddes asked if I could, let's see, it's sort of a longer message. They're going on a trip and was wondering what sort of activities or games would be suggested for going on a trip with dwarves. You know, this is something I sort of don't have a huge amount of experience, although I do have some dwarven friends. But typically when we've gone, we've sort of done dwarven activities. And so I do understand, of course, why you would want to sort of bring something a little more traditional. And I think you should certainly go for some more sort of elven activities, things that they wouldn't necessarily be exposed to or not exposed to as often. So I would say something, you know, dwarves do like to drink, so sort of a lot of elven drinking games are absolutely perfect, especially for in the woods, you know. I think any of the sort of children's games where you sort of hide things out in the wilderness and you sort of have to find them, those sorts of games are absolutely wonderful, you know. I think a good game of 5 mushrooms is always a good one, you know. I don't know how much dwarves would sort of enjoy it or not, I don't really know. But, you know, it's sort of, I think even as an adult, if you've had enough to drink, I think that would be a sort of fun game anyhow. You know, and I think there's this sort of, you know, this sort of scavenger hunt style things tend to just be a little bit more interesting than some of the other things. You know, dwarves do enjoy a good song, so sort of around the campfire, I don't know if you'll have one or not, but if you do, you know, sort of going around and everybody singing or reciting a poem, I think that sort of thing is well enjoyed by people of any background. I think can enjoy that quite well, and you sort of get to know each other a little bit better. There's sort of a game that it's a game, I think it's a human game actually, it's called, what is it, Never Have I Ever. It's, you know, the game always tends to go down sort of darker, more lewd avenues, but you know, I think dwarves would probably find that absolutely fun. It's, in case you don't maybe know this one, it's where you go around and whoever's turn it is names something that they have never done, and if someone else has done it, if you're playing as a drinking game, if you've done it, you take a drink, or you can use your fingers and put them down, and then the first one out, I've heard different versions, you either win if you've done it everything first, or you lose. It really depends, I think, on who you're playing with. But I think that's a very fun game, especially if you're doing it just with drinks, because then it's sort of up to whenever you all feel like ending, and I think it can go on for quite a while. It's sort of a good one to sort of waste some time. And you know, any of the star dances I think would be absolutely so much fun. Sort of teach them some of them, and then, you know, you can all do them. And, you know, for some of them, you don't need to tell them about the nudity, darling. That's sort of optional. It depends on how close you are to these dwarves and whatnot. But you sort of don't need to get into all that with them. You know how it is. And what else? 100 miles of moss, that's always a fun one, you know. I've taken, you know, friends out to the woods before and we've done that one, and it's gone over very, very well. So I'd say definitely I recommend that one. And then what else? I mean, just sort of walking around and showing them sort of what plants and animals are around. I think that sort of thing, depending on who it is, could be quite fascinating for them. You know, and maybe barbecuing. I think dwarves would enjoy that. They do enjoy a good roast, so I don't see why they wouldn't enjoy sort of cooking over an open flame would be good, I would imagine. This is a very hard one, darling. I don't really have too many suggestions, unfortunately, just because I don't have the experience. But I hope that there's a couple of these that you can use, and of course I would consult the internet for sort of some more ideas. So best of luck to you, darling, and good luck with those dwarves in the woods, you know. Sounds like a lot of fun, so ta-ta.